Welcome back, everyone, to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph. Today, talking about a privacy coin, but deeper than that, a coin for more of a privacy network slash exchange. What's interesting is this is one that's kind of snuck up on everyone. It doesn't have a marketing budget, and so you don't see ads out there. You don't see them sponsoring channels. You don't see them doing all these things. And so most people aren't even aware of it, and yet they're doing so many phenomenal things. I had to talk about them. So if you had bought this back in 2019, you have absolutely made a killing. Now it's funny, they're the Thorchain, but their token is Rune. And it has 400x'd from its lows. And at 400x, it's only got a market cap of $1 billion. Now, I'm watching this, and when things go parabolic like this, because this is parabolic, nearly vertical, often they will have retracements, but who knows? Now, at some point, it will have some retracements, and this is one that I personally like for the long term. Unfortunately, I miss getting it in anywhere in here, and I don't chase green candles, so I'm hesitant to buy in here after some massive green candles. And so I'm just looking for a good entry, and if I don't see one, I'm just going to have to continue to miss this, even though I'm very interested in it. Now, as to whether it's interesting to you, that really has to do with what your goals are, what your game plan is, what's your knowledge level on and risk tolerance. So I will do a video that's more in depth on this, but I wanted to share with you some of the things I like about it, and this one is a rabbit hole that you can really go down into trying to explain the technology behind this. There's some great technology behind it, but let's do a quick overview on where it's at. So a market cap of just over $1 billion. So as you know, if you've watched my channel, one of the first things I look at is the circulating supply versus total supply. Now I do have the vesting schedule pulled up here. And so this vesting schedule is a pretty slow release, but I want you to notice a few things. See this big jump up here? This happened the end of November in 2020, but they have another one coming up. So we're at February 9th, and this will be happening on March 1st. So you might see a dip if some of these people cash out, as several tiers all of a sudden receive an unlock. And then another one here. So May 31st, you might see some of these flood on the market and could see a retracement of 20, 30, 40% if some of these people just offload just to get some of their funds liquid for other things. So overall, that's a pretty nice vesting schedule, but if you look at the vesting schedule, as these unlock, sometimes you find good entry points. Does that make sense? And there's potentially a couple coming up this year. Then one later, well, two in the coming months, and then another one in September. So might be a good entry point. Now, to actually have a node on this, and the node owners can make really, really good money, but you have to have 1 million Rune. So right now, that's almost $4.5 million just to have a node on that. And most of the investors I know, that's outside the price range of what they want to be spending. So why is this interesting? Well, one of the big challenges that crypto was created to solve was not only a decentralization, but a decentralization against centralized systems such as governments and towards privacy. And it's been a battle. For some reason, governments don't like their people to have complete privacy on their own wallets. As Barack Obama said, man, it's like having a private bank account, Swiss bank account in your own pocket, and I don't like the concept of that. That's what he said about Bitcoin. So I imagine he would be even more upset about Thorchain, and the reason is Thorchain is creating kind of a back-end decentralized system. So if you look at an application recently built on it, it's called BepSwap. And it's on the Binance chain, and Rune is on the Binance chain. And think of this as kind of like currently a Uniswap. And so you can come in here, you can swap, you can deposit into liquidity pools and earn some returns on it. So there's all of that, which is fantastic. But also think of this as being set up like a back end. So even though we have a little bit of front end and it's kind of what we're used to, not too different from Uniswap, they're creating it in such a way so that front ends can integrate with it, and that the way they've set it up, all the back end processing for exchanges can be done for them to really create a decentralized exchange that has no centralized point of contact that governments can come to and say, hey, we want you to delist Monero because we don't like privacy coins. And so it'll be able to be available for all cryptos if this project is successful and governments are unsuccessful in shutting it down. It would allow trading of all the tokens that they want to have on there, including privacy coins that governments are frowning on, like Monero. And it takes it out of the hands of governments so that they can't control it and puts it into the hand of the people. Now, some people hate that idea. Some people love it. Why would anybody hate it? But they say, oh my gosh, you could be using that for money laundering and you could be using it for criminal behavior. And that's true. Governments have been fighting criminal behavior for how long? And how's that going for them? I mean, I want them to fight criminal behavior, and I want them to fight child trafficking, sex trafficking, other things, of course, and especially violent crime. But I do like the idea of people having power over their own finances, and I do like the idea of privacy of that. So, personal feelings on it. What is the token doing? Well, right now, if you look at it versus Bitcoin, and unfortunately on TradingView, we can't go back into the history very well because there's only a few pairings that show up on TradingView. And so we can look at the Rune Bitcoin pairing, and it does look like it's doing a bull flag here. So here you have your flagpole. I took it from that. So what often happens is the flagpole, about the height of it, it could actually come a little bit farther. And if it is a bull flag, what will often happen is it will go up like this, and it will go up to the price up here, which would, add another 80% or something to the price if that pans out. Now, I'm looking for a solid entry myself on this, and it looks like some good entries versus Bitcoin are appearing here. I'm hoping that in this vesting schedule, that as some people get it, it really drops it down a good 20, 30, or 40%. This is also one I'm going to be very interested in the lows of the crypto winter. So my best guess is we're going to have a solid bull run for the next 10 months in Bitcoin and maybe 12 to 13 months in altcoins. However, after that, just as surely as summer comes, winter comes too. And what will happen is Bitcoin will take some huge hits. And then altcoins will take some huge hits. And people that are new to this will start getting scared and they'll start dumping their tokens. And they'll keep dumping them. It will kind of get out of focus. Every investment vehicle goes through these kind of cycles, which is why they have the bull market and then the bear market. And just as surely as a bull market happens, bear markets happen too. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Thorchain around for a very, very long time. It's very hard for governments to shut down. Who are they going to go to? The team is anonymous. And once this gets set up and running everywhere, it's going to be even harder because there won't be one single point of failure that a single government could attack. And so I like this one, and I like what they're trying to accomplish. I am a fan of like Julian Assange and people, just open, free, and fair information, open, free, and fair trading, right? So I like the concept behind this. This is one I'm going to be very interested in, especially during the crypto winter when everyone else has forgotten about it, but I haven't. I'll be looking for very good pickups on very good long-term coins, because if they're successful on this, and there's still some development road ahead to really connect it up in a way that everyone can easily use it and understand it for their exchanges and trading. But if they're successful on this, something like this could replace most of the centralized exchanges. And, built on the Binance chain, they're much, much faster than Ethereum. But not as fast as some of the new things coming out like Cardano and Polkadot. So we'll see. But this is one that I'm very encouraged by and interested in. There have been some good development funds put into this, to the anonymous team, so they could build us something very smart or very solid, and the people behind it are very smart. So definitely one to watch and keep on your radar. I'll go more in depth on the technology behind it in the coming weeks, But for now, that's just a quick overview. I'm not buying in this massive run. I just don't chase green candles. But that doesn't mean I'm not absolutely interested and enthralled with what they're doing. And who knows, it may look like it might be $12 or $14 in another month or something. And it's like, well, if I could have 3x in a month, that would have been great. But chasing green candles like this often hasn't worked out well for me in the past. So I just don't do it, even if I really like what's going on. I don't jump off the pier to chase a boat that's already left the pier. I just look for good boats that are on the pier and coming and docking up when everybody's fudding them and people are scared and they're jumping out, and there's plenty of those at any given time. So thanks so much, guys. We will see you soon. If you leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, I appreciate it. It really does help me get to my goal with this channel, which the whole reason I started this is so that I could have enough subscribers to try to be able to talk to the devs and teams directly, get them on, and not only speak to me, but also speak to you. And I realized that the only way that was going to get accomplished in a better format is for me to try to add value to you guys so that you have something you want to subscribe to. But secondly, have a large subscriber base, because I wasn't getting the answer from them that I was wanting, because I was just reaching out and I would just never hear back on things, or oh yeah, I reached one low level person and wouldn't make it past the gatekeepers to talk to the dev team. So with the channel, that was the only way to make that happen, because I'm an investor myself. I want to become even more knowledgeable. I want to make better informed decisions, and sometimes those come through speaking to the team directly and having them come on the channel, speak to all of you guys so that we can hear more of what's going on below the surface. A lot of stuff, I feel like without that information, a lot of the stuff we have to do is reactionary. So once something's already pumping, we're saying, oh, what's going on? We're like, oh, that news came out. Oh, I wish I had known about some of that before. Now, some of the news, the dev teams have to keep quiet until it's officially announced. But some of it isn't. Some of the technology that they're working on, they can be very open about, and so we can see what's going on below the surface, so that when it blows up, we'll already have seen it coming, and we'll have been in a better position to realize some of those gains ourselves. Does that make sense? So thank you for everyone who subscribed and joined me on this journey. Also, if you see amazing tokens that you really like, I need 3 things from you. If you just put the ticker symbol, probably won't even look at it. But if you put the ticker symbol in there, as well as you have to put what you like about it. If you don't put what you like about it, I'm not going to look at it. And then third, put what the current market cap is. If you do those 3 things, I promise I will at least take a look at it, see what I think about it. If I really like it, I will do either a quick review or an in-depth review on it, or maybe even both. So thank you everyone who has been suggesting some really good things. I have made even some of my purchases based on some of the things you guys have brought to my attention, and I appreciate that very much, and I try to be open about it when I do something like that. And I try to be open about what I feel about each one for myself, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an investor, and I'm just walking you through why I'm making the decisions I'm making and what I like and what I don't like. And just take that and see what your own goals are, and if it helps you, fantastic. And if it doesn't, well, I am just a guy, right? I am an analytical guy by nature, but just a guy. So I did do a really funny video that I recorded earlier today, and I have over to my amazing video editor. Now, she does my real estate channel and edits those, which take a lot more editing. I've been a real estate investor for 20 years. So if you like real estate, think about this. You got to put your money somewhere if you make amazing gains, and real estate's a good long-term play. So if you like real estate, or curious about real estate, or want to watch some things about real estate investing, real estate flipping, down below in the description you'll find a link to my channel, Murph's Turf, related to real estate. And a lot of these concepts work not only in the United States, but they work in other markets. One of my good friends is flipping homes in Brazil, and so the stuff works for him too. And so I hope that can be helpful. I mean, what are you going to do with your gains when you make it? You can just try to hold everything through the crypto winter, but it is going to be long and cold. So one of the things on my mind is, if this year goes really well, like I hope it will, what am I going to do for a couple of years? Well, I'm going to pick up some during the bear market, and then a lot about 2.5, 3 years from now. But what am I going to do in the meantime? to continue to try to grow the investment returns that I've made. So real estate is something I'm passionate about, and if you're curious about it, check out the other channel, and if not, that's totally cool. If real estate isn't for you, it's for some people. But she's my amazing video editor, and she will be editing this one. It's just supposed to be funny and entertaining, but it's really about the concept of FOMO, fear of missing out, chasing green candles, and also holding through the crypto winter, which I did last time in 2017. It was very painful. Alright guys, that'll be coming out in maybe a few days. So you'll see it. It'll be a different type of video. Thanks so much. Bye.